Yep, we are back into the match too, and the draft phase is on. It's Lafu Kabi versus Team Divine Rhythm, where Divine Rhythm is gonna play their match point, which they got 1 point into their hand, and one more point. That means a clean sweep to Lafu Kabi. Or if we're gonna have some hope for Lafu Kabi, then maybe we're gonna see a reverse sweep tonight. And again, guys, as I said before, that maybe we're gonna see Lafu Kabi going again with those sneaky picks of Leslie for them, because the last time we saw it was onto the Divine Rhythm and they managed to make it in a good way. The Leslie Savage, and then the Leslie was the only one who was capturing each and every kills in a team fight. Whenever the Leslie was falling down, the team was kind of getting down as well. But still, in the end, we saw the loss still from Romcom, and in the end, we saw the match win to the side of Divinism. But right now, Fed win bans once again from the Lafokabi side, whereas they don't want to give the Matilda this time to Lafokabi. This is a good choice from Divinism. What do you think, Mikey?
I think it is because last time we could see that Matilda was a bit of a pain in particular situations. The Circling Eagle can be a very good initiator, and I believe for team fight she can be a big utility. So they don't want her around. They also don't want the Franco around. They banned the Franco twice. And I personally also don't like Francos in my opponents because of the suppression, particularly. So I believe they also are scared of being suppressed from Lafu Kabi. They have banned out the Fredrin. They are going for the next one. Uh, they can focus on the marksman, I'd say, because the marksmen on this patch can be really deadly. Particularly Leslie and Bruno. I have eyes on these particular two marksmen. If they either pick them or ban them, let's see.
Yep, and the Uranus pick as well. I mean, right now when the anti-heal items were in the nerf stage, these picky heroes are really furious at this time, and they can just not being there as a tanky frontliner, but as well as the damage dealer for the team, because we have seen that Uranus was giving some damage to the Yuzong as well, but still Yuzong managing to play against him easily. But in the end, it was obviously Divine Rhythms, Divine's luck. They won the match after 23 minutes of struggle for both these sides. Right now, Glue will be taken out as well from Lafu Kabi, whereas the Selena ban will still be on from the side of Divine Rhythm. The last ban about to come from the Lafu Kabi. What do you think, Sarah? What it will be? Okay, Egyptian again.
It's a Jukshin. Lafu Kavi just hates that Jukshin pick, so they're like, we will never give you that hero. We're gonna ban it in every match, no matter what the situation is. But that does leave quite a few options for Divine Regime to pick open. Like Peekaboo, he can go in for his 1-1, but okay, I forget that this this isn't the two normal teams. They are Divine Regime and Lafu Kabi, so they can do whatever the hell they want and still make it interesting. So of course, Romcom picks up on the show.
Yeah, the show will be there, but towards the Rome or EXP, that's a big question. But I think it will be into the Rome. But if you remember, Mike, yesterday sorry, it was not you. I was casting with someone else, and you know what? That was a good team, but it picked the Cho, and they have the emblem of lethal ignition with them, and the tanky bills items was built up from the Cho, and it was great for them. They were doing great with that Cho. But right now, if that's the trick Divine Rhythm gonna work, then let's see how it goes. But before that, we're gonna see a Phobius, which is Romcom's trademark hero, will be playing against him from the side of Lafu Kabi with a Moscow coming on. That means the previous meta Moscow will be there, and who will be playing against this Moscow? Again, they will be going with the Leslie, or are we gonna see the Ronaldo? I mean the Bruno to be here from Divine Rhythm.
I believe they can go for the Leslie still now, but if they want, they can also go for the Van Man if they want. It actually depends on what kind of comfortability they have with which heroes and if they want to play around with the heroes. But no, they are not. It is a friendly match, but I think they're taking it too seriously. We can see that Leslie getting picked again along with the Lapu. Both of them got a good amount of buff in this patch. They are really effective in team fights, and the damage output from the Leslie, we saw it already. uh, the overall damage she dealt in the last round also got the MVP and also a Savage for sure. And we can see the Farsa getting picked from the side of Lafukabi. Farsa is amazing mage for sure, and one of the highest radius of damage dealing capability she has with the Fithing Airstrike.
is Zozo on Farsa, and there will be a lot of I mean, you can say fight between the mage and the Cho as well, because we all know that Cho is a single target hero. He can target solo players mostly, and mostly the mages and MM. So Fasha, if she will not be with the Purify, then she will have some nightmare today, because Cho can pick it her up with the Way of Dragon easily. But is Zozo's Fasha, so let's see how it goes for him as well. But right now, second banning phase already started. Hayabusa, who was in the North list, will be taken out in the ban list as well. I'm a bit surprised about it, because in the previous match we saw that Lafu Kabi went with that Lucas, and right now again Lafu Kabi will be with the Hayabusa ban. I mean, they kind of not done the homework yet. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I am a kind. I agree with you on that, because the fact that Lafkawi banned out on the Hayabusa, I think they're expecting Romcom to go towards the jungle once again, and Romcom he has the flair on those assassin jungles. But if this time around Rarin decides to go jungle once more, it is going to be a fighter jungle coming in from the side of DREG. They ban out on the Kalia this time, while Lafukabi once again sticks to their priority ban, which is going to be the Baxia. But this time around, Divine Regime, they need to ban out on a roamer, which is once again going to be the Rafaela. Not taking any chances. Both of these teams have quite a few picks open. Like Reaper could still go in for his signature, and even Hectic could just go ahead with a Tigreal or a Kufra just to provide those sets. Especially provided the fact that Kufra did get a recent buff.
Ripa with the Suyu pick coming on. That will be on to mark pick from the side of Lafukabi. We all know that Suyu is also in the North list, but still manageable to play. Not like Hayabusa, not like Fanny right now. But this Suyu pick remarks a lot of things from Lafukabi as well, because they don't have a sustain yet other than the Phobias. What should be in the Rome? Will it be a support or a tanky frontliner? That's a big question right now. But still, we have to see a mage coming out from the Divine Rhythm. Maybe we're gonna see a Louis at this point, because it will work so great with a Lafuka. I mean, with a Lapu Lapu. But no, 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 no. It's something. A broken meta will be there. It's a Lancelot from the side of Divine Rhythm with the Granger. Not the Granger. It's a Harley. Sorry, it's a Harley from them. Harley towards the mage. I mean, Mikey, are we in the epic lobby?
Not really. I think if they go for Harley and Harley focuses on particular heroes like let's say Moscow or Farsa with the deadly magic, I think he can easily take them down and that can be useful. But yeah, it's not the typical pick that we see, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite surprising for sure. But yeah, from the side of both of the teams, they did go around with good heroes. But let's see what they can do in this one.
Yeah, we are into the lineup dawn for the Mythic Showdown by Indian Gaming Corps for the second set between Team Lafukabi versus Divine Rhythm. Match point for Divine Rhythm and a 2-or-die for Lafukabi. Casters, please take on the match.
Thank you, Ash. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, back into game number 2, back into a game of quirkiness is what we will be witnessing once more. Both the teams' strong early aggression coming in from the side of Lafukabi. They did lose out on the previous game with a bit of luck when Peekaboo just simply carrying DREG to the best of his wits. But this time around, I think Lafukabi has they have just gotten into the zone and they're locked in, trying to take this series in their favor with all their main picks and heroes.
I guess so. Right now in the mid lane, we can see a bit of damage on Farsa, but I don't think they'll commit to it because it's not the time for it. They are still in level 2, so they don't have all of their skills unlocked, so it's better to retreat. In the bottom lane, there is possibility for a fight breaking down, but there is a possibility in the mid lane as well. Romcom is going in. We can see a bit of damage on Hectic. Lancelot is dealing a lot of damage, but it's a Tigreal after all. He will survive. Farsa with a lot of damage tried to hold on to the Romcom. He will be taken down. First blood secured by the Suyo. Came in at the right moment. Secured it in the right moment as well. Because right now they can, if they want to, rotate a bit towards the purple buff and also lock on to the turtle right now. Since, they have that possibility. But let's see what they do. The turtle spawn in the bottom lane. Streva Suyu is trying to rotate towards the top lane, and let's see what they can do. Since Farsa is also here with the Feathering Airstrike. Feathering Airstrike goes in. Suyu dives in. A double second kill maybe will be secured by him, but Leslie is locking on to him. Maybe it will go the other way around, and it did.
Just wow moments coming in, but look at that, the flicker gameplay coming in by Zozo as well as Moon Knight, but that over aggression is going to cost them both their lives. A little bit of the recall taunt coming in by Spiral is like, we're having fun, bro, chill out, we're having fun. But then again, Team Lafu Kabi does have the more favorable draft, and Roncom here tried to go in for the invade, found the red buff once again, showing that he probably has better luck at securing objectives like buffs and turtles and lords, even without a retribution against Shinigami. But that's a personal opinion, because at the moment, Lafu Kabi, they are leading, and Divine Regime does need to find their momentum. But look at the Way of the Dragon coming in onto the Tigreal. But it's a Tigreal. Of course he survives.
Absolutely. In the mid lane, we see Hectic was in a low HP, but he will survive. He's a tank after all. He is quite sustainable. We can see the Lapu Lapu will retreat from that. Rarin is waiting for something. Let's see what he does. He will retreat as well. I believe the Phobius is quite intimidating. The Infernal Pursuit can be quite annoying because you can actually see him just stomping on you one after another. And yeah, that's how he got a kill over there. We can see Harley was trying to do a bit of damage on Suyo, and maybe we'll see a kill being secured. Suyo was taken down by Lapu Lapu, bravest fighter being used, and we can see a chase off over here. But again, Phobius was logging on to Rarin, but he managed to survive from that. Again, a fight is continuously breaking down, one after another, one after another. Moskov with the Spear of Destruction got the kill of Harley, and again, Joe dives in. He doesn't have his way of the dragon right now, but Phobius still does have his Infernal Pursuit. Parts of the Feathering Airstrike, Lapu Lapu was taken out by Phobius, Lancelot was taken out as well. Sarah.
Just a regular rank match in solo queue, I would say. But then again, this are two of the best teams in India, and they are kind of having the time of their lives at the moment, and somehow we are all enjoying that. Look at the aggression coming in, but Lafu Kabi, it's quite commendable because they are stealing away the buffs and trying to get the objectives as much as possible. On towards the top side, Moon Knight is the one getting marked by the entirety of Team DREG, as they are getting Peekaboo the extra lead which he requires on towards the mid to late game. Because once he has his full build, he can technically just one-shot everyone on the side of Lafu Kabi. So that is a bit of a risky, but a high-risk, high-reward kind of strategy, I would say.
True, true. Right now we can see Sparrow is poking a bit, but I don't think they will commit to any kind of fights right now. Divine Regime should hold on to the overall situation because they are lagging behind in gold a bit. So for the side of Lafu Kabi, let's see what they do in the bottom lane. We can see Moscow and Lapu Lapu doing a bit of damage. Way of the Dragon being used, Implosion being used by Tigreal. First with defending airstrike. Rarin was taken down by Zozo. Zozo will be taken down by Romcom. In the process, we can see that Leslie is trying to retreat from Suyo, but Lancelot is going again. Let's see if he can get a kill out of it or not. Cho is trying to deal a bit of damage, used a bit of crowd control, but Spear of Destruction being used. Moskov dies in to lock onto the Leslie, but there is a Lancelot, there is a Cho, and he was taken out by none other than Cho. You can see the Phobius is still surviving, but not for long, because Peekaboo got the kill out of it. Hectic was taken down by Leslie, as well as just Farsa right now in the mid lane, but let's see what she can do. Farsa with the Fizzing Airstrike took out Sparrow, and he will retreat because we can see the Deadly Magic by Harley, and in the mid lane the tier 3 will be secured.
Absolutely well done by both these teams. But look at Romcom. He tried to be, he tried to be the Indian version of, the Peach version of Kyrie actually, and just jumped in with those dashes, but did miss out because the Blade Surge, it was just perfectly timed by Shinigami, who found the kill onto him. But then again, Rarin doing the job of the mid laner as well as the side laner. Look at Peekaboo once again finds the kill with the same way as you did in the previous game. It's like Peekaboo, he is out for blood, and the bloody ones belongs to Moon Knight. That's the entire story of today's games.
Absolutely. From the side of Divine Regime, I would say just a look at Leslie. It's 615 a KDA. And overall, I believe the goal difference is going to be quite hectic in the goal lane because for the side of Moscow, he hasn't been able to do much. And the top lane Striva, we can see that the turtle might be contested, but let's see who contests over it, who gets this one. But we can see a fight breaking down. Show goes in with the dragon on Tigreal. Tigreal with the flicker and implosion. Lancelot dives in to do a bit of damage. Hectic was taken down by none other than Leslie. Leslie will be taken down as well. Shut down coming in for the Leslie by Phobius. Suyo was taken down in the process. Zozo is in bad situation. Will try to retreat. Right amount of flicker, but Lancelot dove in over there and just got the kill. We can see that Phobius is still going on with the Infernal Pursuit. He is trying to hold on to it. Romcom might be taken down. Spear of Distraction, but just for a little distance, it wasn't connected. Otherwise, it would have been a bit of a problem for Lancelot. Moskov is still trying to survive, but was taken down by none other than Lapu Lapu. And Lapu Lapu, with the bravest fighter, is quite aggressive, and he just used it in the right moment. Sarah.
Honestly, at this point, DREG, they are simply flexing the damage and their skill potential onto the side of Lafu Kabi. And look at that, Romcom with those perfect little dashes, and even Brendan with that little flicker play just the previous moment. And now he's in a 1v4 and he is still quite alive, but will finally be taken down by Reaper there on the Phobius, which is actually a very, very S tier EXP. But look at Romcom once again, tries to find Zozo, and Peekaboo manages to secure the kill perfectly. But look at that, the SOT, it connects onto Peekaboo. But obviously, this time around, Moon Knight, he will have learned his lesson, not trying to be overly aggressive with his ultimate plays, because the previous time he did it, he was forced to flicker out and then got ulted by Cho and had to lose his life. But who cares? He is not going to be given a single chance to stay alive. At this point, DREG is like Moon Knight. If you want your main hero, you are not going to be staying alive for too long. That's just how it is. But look at Spiro. It's just dancing around for people, but obviously gets taken down, unfortunately. But now the Lord is going to be up for the side of Lafu Kabi. Are they going to secure the Lord, or are they going to chase it down? They do start up on the Lord, but what is going to be the answer of this?
I think they will get the Lord. Farsa goes in with a fitting strike. Various fighter being used by Lapu Lapu to, make the whole fight scatter around. But Lapu Lapu was taken down by Farsa. Moscow blocking on to the Lord right now. Divine Regime might go in, and let's see if they can actually steal the Lord or not. From the side of Lapu Lapu, they should focus on the Lancelot first because he has the retribution on his hand, and the Lord is pretty low. Suyo got the Lord with the retribution. Lancelot did try it, but was taken down by Moskov with the Spear of Destruction. He took out a lot of damage. That's why he was trying to retreat. Peekaboo was taken out by Farsa with the feathering air strike. Moskov dove in again, trying to lock on to Cho over there, but let's see if Cho can survive. I don't think so, and it was Hectic who got the kill after all. The overall fight was completely in favor of Lafu Kabi right now, since they did utilize their heroes perfectly. They didn't just go in aggressive, but they went in aggressive in a strategic manner, and that worked out for them amazingly.
Exactly so. And honestly, at this point, I think Moscow has finally finished on building up his Trinity, and the damage is going to be quite online. Look at the feather air strike, they're marking the Harley and even baiting out the flicker, but it won't be enough because Harley did manage to survive that rock up on towards the top side, trying to clear it down. The Moonlight finds the kill onto Raren this time. Will he stay alive though? He needs to stay alive. He does! And finds the kill onto Peekaboo, but will be taken down by Brendan this time around. And the Lord is going to be marching down 2 dead from the side of DREG. I think Lafu Kabi should be able to find at least one inhibitor, but no, they do not have a turret push hero online. And Spiro, he is marking down the Farsa as much as possible. But look at the Phobius just zoning away Lancelot and Lapu as much as he can.
Absolutely. If Phobius wasn't around, Farsa would have been in a bad situation because she would have been chased down mile after mile, I'd say. But yeah, it was just Cho around, and Farsa got the vision of him in the right moment and was able to, stay away and keep in a better distance. Right now, the overall situation is the kill score is 23 by 19, 23 for Divine Regime, 19 for Lafu Kabi. The lead is still on the side of Lafu Kabi by about 1000 goals. And let's see what they can do. The 1000 goals in 12 minutes is not that much. We can see Cho diving in, but I don't think he will lock onto the fight. Rarin is being chased down by Hectic, but Lancelot is again over here. We can see Moskov is dealing a lot of damage. He is melting down Lapu Lapu, and Zozo was the one who got the kill of Lapu Lapu in the process. We can see that Lafu Kabi is just holding on to the top lane Striva. They are making sure that the coast is clear for the next slot that comes around. And let's see if they can actually get this slot and utilize it to go for the base, and maybe just clear out all of the turrets that Divine Regime have.
And at this point, goal lead is not in favor of anybody still. Divine Rage does have only 3 kills in their favor and could be turned around pretty easily in a matter of just 30 seconds in a team fight. But then, look at Rarin. He is getting caught out by Fulvius. Will have to escape as far as he can possibly go. But look at the Spear of Destruction at the perfect time. But the Moskov will again be taken down by Peekaboo. A 1-for-1 trade while Forza gets an off-cam kill onto the show. This time around, Lafukabi isn't leaving any crowns behind. Like, if they are sacrificing one of them, they are finding 2 from the side of DRAJ. So this is going to look very interesting. Tigreal has spotted the Leslie. Peekaboo needs to run because if the Phobius jumps on him, but look at the Tigreal with the Flicker Implosion play onto Peekaboo. Peekaboo does manage to flicker, but the Flicker comes in from Reaper as well, and he finds the Mega Kill. Alright, there. Romcom being the only one left will try to look for a Retribution Steal once more, but the Feathered Airstrike is there. It tries to deal damage, but he will not be able to find any. Once again, the Spear of Destruction was aimed quite well, but he misses Brendan. But Harley, though, will have to look for a proper angle. Romcom finds Shinigami off the camera. What an amazing play coming in by this man. But he will finally be taken down by Phobius once more. Brendan in the middle of 3 people in a 3v2. The damage dealer has been taken down, but the Phobius is still online. He finds the double kill. But look at the Cho. He is still distracting them as much as possible. Look at Harley. He's trying to go in, but he decides that it's not worth it. Both are tanks and neither of them are going to die. Just what is happening all over the map at the moment?
I believe from the side of Divine Regime, they did a good thing distracting Lafu Kabi from getting the Lord, and they were successful at it, but they did lose a few of their teammates. But from the side of Divine Regime, they did take out 3 of Lafu Kabis. So it worked out in the end for the side of Divine Regime, I'd say. But for the side of Lafu Kabi, they still have a chance to go in and, take a bit of an advantage around the Lord because they have better utilities in this particular round. And from the side, both of the sides, the overall kill difference, the goal difference is quite an equalizing situation. It's not going to be hitting any of them in an excessive manner. It's we can say that both of them are on quite equal grounds for sure. It's all the matter of utilizations of the skills. Suyo is trying to go in the middle lane, maybe to poke around a bit, maybe to create a distraction. Lafu Lapu goes in with the bravest fighter. Romcom is trying to go around, have a bit of vision on who's around and what they can do about this situation. Moskov is in the bottom lane for some reason. He's waiting for the Spear of Destruction. Maybe Hectic goes in with the Flicker and Implosion. Hectic was taken down by none other than Harley. Leslie was taken down by Suyo. Suyo is locking on to Harley as well. Harley was taken down in the process. Romcom was taken down by none other than Moon Knight. We can see that Cho is being chased down by Suyo. Farsa with the Feathering Airstrike again. Let's see what Cho can do in this situation. We have the dragon being used, but Suyo just dived in, got the kill of Cho, and we can see Lapu Lapu in a bad situation. Moskov is dealing a lot of damage, and we can see the Phobius is being aggressive as well. Double kill secured by Lapu Lapu over there by Suyo, and got the kill of Lapu Lapu. We can see that the side of Kabi, they will be locking with the base. There is a comeback. We are going to the 3rd round, Sarah.
Not exactly hyped about it, but then again, huge kudos to Lafu Kabi for coming back from that situation, even though the early game, DREG were dominating quite a bit. But obviously, it's the late game, and the Phobius is there for that utmost frontlining. That is why I call him an S tier EXP, along with Moskov, who, even though was completely tortured for the entire duration of the game, did manage to do his part for as much as he could. And with that, Ash, we have you back with us.
Yup, and it's like the Harley pick I was suspecting from the beginning was the only loophole we can say from the side of team Divine Rhythm, because they could have gone with something like a crowd control mage, maybe a Louis, maybe a Juxian. Juxian was in the ban list. Maybe a Sicilian could have worked better than a Harley, but